Alright, I'm back with another lick of the week, and I'm going to continue in this melodic vein, and I'm going to delve a little bit into two-note melodic. Two-note melodic is a form of melodic scales. We have three main varieties in melodic bluegrass banjo. You have single note, which is, there's typically 7 notes in a standard scale: do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And then when you get to do again, it's the same note an octave higher. So if you want to count the 8th note of the scale, it would be the same note an octave higher. And then we have what we call the two-note variety, where you go through a different series. You use the same notes but in a different series. So you may go 1, 3, 2, 4, skipping around, and there's different modes for that. But typically you can hear, even if you're not familiar with the types of scales that we're talking about, single note or two note, you can tell the difference. Single notes will be played typically as 8th notes: do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, and they have a nice even flowing sound, and you can check them with a metronome, 1 note per click. Two-note variety has this almost skipping rhythmic kind of sensibility about it. Ba 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 ba, tick tock, kind of like windshield wipers, and they're played as 16th notes. So instead of playing 1 note per click, you'd play 2 notes. All right. The third type of scale is what we call 4-note melodic. 4-note melodic refers to you playing 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th notes of the scale, and then backtracking and playing 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it gives what everybody recognizes as what I call the atypical flowing melodic sound. You would play the G scale in 4-note fashion, and it would continue on, on up the scale, and it would always overlap 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up, so that you have the single note, 8th note, and then you would have 2-note, which would be 16th notes. And then to get all these in, they would be played as 32nd notes. So you would have, instead of 2 notes down, 2 notes up, 2 notes per click, you would have 4 notes up, 4 notes down, 4 notes per click. So that's a much more challenging task. What I want to show you today is a really easy G 2-note descending lick. And by descending, of course, we mean going downhill, going down in pitch. Here's the lick. Now this is basically just the G scale in 2-note fashion, starting at the 12th fret. Typically, you're not going to need to play the whole thing unless you want to make a long lick out of a scale. And if you're not careful with playing single, 2-note, or 4-note scales over long phrases and songs, it begins to sound like you're playing a scale, which you typically don't want to do a lot of. You want to be a little more musical with it. Yes, you can use entire long passages of scales as improvisation, or maybe as part of a fiddle tune or something, but if you tend to run too many of these things together and make them last too long over too many measures, they sound like you're practicing scales. So what I like to do is kind of break up like a 4-note lick into a shorter phrase, and then you can always, as I've discussed before, you can always break up a scale pattern into fragments and use them however you want. So you get a lot of cool licks will come about from experimenting with this. So let me talk you through the lick. You're going to start with your ring finger at the 12th fret of the 1st string. You're right here at the blackberry blossom position, which I said before is kind of like the mirror image of the Sally Gooden position. 9 and 10 on the 1st and 2nd string. So you have a B and an A note. All right. 12th fret with the ring. Thumb is going to catch the 5th string behind the ring finger at 10. So you're going to shift between this note to this note. pattern here is 5, 1, 5, 2. 5, 1, 5, 2. So it's not really as much as a roll as it is two-note fragments strung together. 5, 1, 5, 2. Now 1 comes into play with the middle finger. 5, 1, 5, 2, 1. That's that B note. Then G open with the thumb. So you might want to get familiar with this pattern, just play this fragment for a while and get used to using this fingering. If you've not played any melodic two-note scales, then a good way to get a handle on these is to practice G, C, and D melodic scales in two-note fashion, ascending and descending, and you'll really be familiar with what I'm doing. But if you don't want to take it that far, you can just mimic what I'm doing here, and you'll have a descending two-note G lick at your disposal. So 5, 1, 5, 2, 1, 5. Alright, now here's where you're going to shift. You're going to play 1, 2, which is actually a partial D chord. 1, 2 with these middle index. 5. Now you could stop there, and that would make a pretty sweet little two-note descending melodic G lick. Now if you want to continue the scale, then you can go here, index finger on the 7th fret of the 2nd string, ring finger on the 3rd string at 9, and play a forward roll, 3, 2, 1. And then 5, and you could stop there. And that would make a sweeter passage. Now we could continue, but I don't really want to get into an exercise in playing two-note scales verbatim, but you can do a lot with this lick, and you can break it into fragments and play whatever you want. So let me play something. I'll play something really simple like Cripple Creek to show you how this can work. So I can take a simple song like Cripple Creek and apply a pretty advanced melodic idea, and actually fits musically pretty well because I didn't stretch it out too long, and I made it kind of fit into kind of the phrasing of the melody anyway. So there you go, a two-note G melodic idea.